Welcome to 8 Unedited Minutes brought to you by the National Speakers Association of Illinois. The speaking world is competitive and speakers need to cut through the noise and dominate a brand position, especially in their own marketplace. I discuss how to do that with my guest, Marti Konstant. As a workplace futurist and inventor of the term career agility, Marti Konstant is a keynote speaker, AI trainer, and designer for speakers and authors. With a background in design, technology marketing, and business, she has a keen instinct for emerging trends. Immobilized at 12, she was given a second chance to move at 15. She has not stopped since. She is a runner and mountain hiker across several continents. Marti currently serves as immediate past president of the National Speakers Association of Illinois. We dive into topics including how to start owning a dominating brand in your marketplace, why you want other people to talk about you and share your ideas, the one thing above all else that you need to do to create and own your own space in your marketplace, and more golden nuggets of advice. You're going to love this show. Marti, thank you for making the time to do 8 Unedited Minutes today. I really appreciate you.
Looking forward to this, Mark. Can't wait to have the conversation.
And we're going to be talking about how to create, and as a speaker, how to create and own your own place in the marketplace. Before we get into some of the tactics, the strategies, tips, and tricks, why is that topic important to you? What's your story there?
It's important because everyone has a space that they want to own. If you own something like leadership development, it's not really ownable. But if you have an aspect of that that is unique, you can own that. And there's also the argument about what you should trademark and what you should open source.
So when you start realizing, okay, I do want to have own my own place in the marketplace, what's the starting point? What do you do to start that initiative of owning your own place, owning your own space?
Well, you test it. In a time period when career agility and agile career was a thing, I tested it in the market and put it out there and saw how many people might download the presentation. When I got 500 downloads of a presentation on career agility, I thought, well, this thing has legs. So research is number one.
What comes after the research?
What comes after research is creating materials that help you own it. One of the greatest things to do is create a foundation article. What is career agility? What is an agile career? What is an unfair advantage? What is unstoppable? Something that's related to you. So if you create that article and post it in a place that is heavily indexed by Google, something like LinkedIn articles or LinkedIn newsletters comes to mind, which has been very successful on my end, that would be a place to start. Create an article. What is ?
Well, once you create the article and get out there, I know this is something that you and I have spoken about before as far as the trademark and trying to own something too closely. How do you put it? How do you keep it out there? And why? Let me better question. Why do you want other people using your term in the case that we're talking about right here? Not trademarking a company, but just a broad idea like career agility. Why do you want other people using it?
Well, I would want people to use my definition. Came up with a definition in 2012. What is an agile career? It's a self-reflective, incremental career path guided by response to change, evolving job roles, and designed to optimize creativity, growth, and happiness. That is a definition. That definition comes up on the first page of Google results when you do that. I've seen it in corporate presentations. When I'm lucky enough, they reference me and they reference my name. So why is it good to have something broadly used? So that they remember you and associate you with that. And then when they have a presentation or a training on the future of work and how that affects how their employees manage their careers, they're going to think of me.
Well, after the article, what do you do to further spread the word of your idea?
There's a lot of different things you can do. And it would be a book. I created a book called Activate Your Agile Career. The other thing you can do is you can create a model. Darcy Luoma creates models for Thoughtfully Fit, which is her trademarkable idea, but she created a model that she shared broadly and liberally. Now, she did trademark it, but the illustration of her process was out there for all to share. Your titles of your presentation. Another way is to make yourself broadly known with journalists. There's journalists that have approached me to interview me on this topic, and then it shows up on Forbes, it shows up in search results, which is really important in the context of AI today. You want to be found because AI is taking up the first third of most search pages now.
So as far as the journalists go, did they find you? And I know it's probably not black and white, and or did you find them, or was it some mix of the two to get into different journals, different magazines, different broadcasting agencies? What did that look like for you as far as finding you and you finding them?
At the beginning, I did outreach.
Mhm.
I hired someone to help me reach out to a bunch of publications and conferences. And then later on, people were coming to me. Universities were coming to me. You know, the dean of our engineering school wants to focus on agility this year. We think your topic would be uniquely, positioned for our audience of engineers at our university.
Well, after you get it out there, how do you make sure it's just not like a blip on the radar? Like you get the article out, let's just say it's found in today's language or situations, it's found by Google, it's found by AI. How do you make it not just, whoa, everyone's talking about career agility and then a dip into obscurity? How do you make it last over time? What did you do?
Well, book tour, that's a year or more. There's creating a project. I created a project called the Agile Careerist Project, and I had events that I was holding. So it's really a form of marketing. I was a chief marketing officer for a tech company, and the way that I kept anything in front of anybody is to use all the different channels to get to it. Show up, network, write about it, get covered. I created an illustration, a career agility model. It's always on the first page on Google. People don't know that, illustrations are covered and it goes right to your website.
Unpack that a little bit. When you say model, what do you mean by a model?
Um, the best way for me to describe a model is, what is your process? How do you do what you do, and what makes your, pathway to get something done? And so in a career agility model, it's about responding to change. It's about accessing your feedback circle of people that you admire, your advisors. It's about you're doing activating your career brand. So there's 6 or 7 of those. So if you take
Okay.
those 6 or 7 things, it would be part of a model.
And we have covered a lot of ground in a short period of time. When it comes to creating and owning your own space as a speaker in the marketplace, if you were to reiterate something you already said, or maybe touch on something you haven't touched on yet, if someone's listening, watching, like, I get it, I want to do that. If you were to say, at least do this one thing, at least this one thing above all to create and own your own space in the marketplace, what would you tell people to do?
I would start with the foundation article, what is question mark, and start talking about your space and planting that everywhere that you can. Titles of speeches, titles of books, titles of your model, title all of that so that it can be found, and talk about it in your networking.
That is awesome. If people want to find you online, where's the best place or places to go?
2 places. LinkedIn. I'm the only Marti Konstant in the world. And also martikonstant.com.
And that's Marti Konstant with a K for everyone that doesn't see the show notes, but we'll include it in the show notes. Thank you for being here, Marti. I really appreciate you and your time.
Great, Mark. Thanks.
Let's see.